doing you well? Nice to be here. My name's Leo. Thanks for coming out to see my show and Darius' show. How's your pandemic, by the way? Did you have a good one? It was alright, man. Scotland had a great pandemic. Like, the average age of coronavirus victims in Scotland is actually older than the average life expectancy. That's mental. That means people are living longer in Scotland if they get coronavirus. In Scotland, coronavirus isn't a disease, it's an antioxidant. The Scottish diet is so bad you can actually introduce a bat virus into it, and Scottish bodies just go, what is this? Is this fibre? The only normal source of fibre in a Scottish person's diet is from accidentally eating some paper around a kebab, you know? That's interesting times. I thought the NHS did great in the pandemic. Have we got any NHS workers in here tonight? Oh, we do. No, we've got one over here. No, good, great to see you out. Like, no, give her a round of applause. I mean, I'm assuming you're front line and not admin. Like, we're taking that applause back. Just sitting at a computer in your living room and then skipping the queue at Tesco when you pass, getting bunches of flowers. Are you? What do you do for the NHS? You're a nurse, yeah, that's proper. Any particular kind of nurse? GP nurse, cool, nice one. I don't know what that means, but that's brilliant. They're great. Like, I still prefer private medical care though, like, no offence. I know the NHS is great, covers everybody, it works out cheaper and more effective, but I prefer private medical care because you don't have to be grateful. Man, coming out and clapping every Thursday, like, oh, thank you NHS, thank you for doing the jobs you willingly chose to do in return for money. Like, you're getting paid, right? You've got a pension, yeah, man. The way everybody carries on, you think they're all volunteers crawling to the hospital over broken glass? Man, banging pots and pans together. You know how many frying pan handles I went through this pandemic? I'm in hospital every 2 weeks, not with coronavirus, with burnt hands from trying to flip a pancake. Man, we don't do that for any other service. The only other people who get clapped for fulfilling their basic job obligations is Ryanair when the plane lands. I think in both cases it's because we know we're total scumbags and we've drastically underpaid for a service and we are just amazed to be alive. There is no way a £5.99 flight to Lanzarote should land anywhere near the fucking tarmac. Man, that thing should just break up over the Atlantic. We'll go screaming into the sea. We don't even mind, it's $5.99, what a bargain! Can't even hug your family goodbye because you haven't paid £4 extra to sit next to each other. You know they do that, those Ryanair scumbags. You get to check in and they're like, do you want to sit next to each other? It's like, why can't we sit next to each other? We're getting on the same plane. And they're like, no, unless you give us £4 extra each, I'm going to move you around on the little seating chart. Because I'm a cunt. You're not getting any extra service for that £4. You're literally just bribing them to not be dicks. That's like if you went to the bar here and you said, can I have a pint of lager? And the barman's like, certainly, that'll be £4 or £8 if you don't want me to dip my balls in it. Sorry, I forgot we're in central London. That'll be £16 or... What about face masks? Did you wear face masks? I didn't wear a face mask because I'm actually exempt. Because if you say you're exempt, you don't have to wear a face mask. Literally the system. What an amazing system. I wish everything was like that. Like, can I see your driver's license? I'm exempt. Why aren't you wearing any trousers? I'm exempt. Well, can you move away from the playground? I'm joking. I would never go near a school playground with no trousers on in this weather. Actually, I got stopped at Euston Station by this policeman. He was like, excuse me sir, where's your face mask? I was like, I'm exempt. Then I thought, I better give a reason because it's a policeman. So I was like, I'm exempt because masks give me anxiety. Because anxiety is a thing that's got to be eliminated now for some reason. It used to be a valid emotion. It was useful to feel. So it might stop you jumping into the sea with sharks or putting your gender pronouns at the end of your email. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. I got an email this week from a guy called Steve. He's like, at the end, he's like, my pronouns are he/him. Like, you're called Steve? What did you think I was going to think your pronouns were? You know, there's a little picture of you. You've got a beard. You look like a child. If I asked a child to draw a man, they'd draw you, Steve. You know what I mean? I'm getting away from the point, but this policeman was like, excuse me, sir, where's your face mask? I was like, I'm exempt. Mask give me anxiety. And he was like, well, where's your lanyard saying that? I was like, lanyards give me anxiety as well. Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for coming to my show. Cancel culture. It's about but, you know, people have tried to cancel me quite a few times, even from this club. This comedy club got an email in October because I've done you know a few solo shows here, and got an email in October after one of the shows, and the email said, I came to see Leo Kearse's solo show in July, and it was horrific and offensive, and I came back to see it again in October. It's still horrific and offensive. Can you please stop booking him? And why don't you just stop coming to see my show? You know, might not be for you, but yeah, I don't know how I ended up such a controversial person. Like, I grew up in a very progressive household. We actually had a gender-neutral toilet in my house growing up. I couldn't believe it. Like, my mum and my dad both used the same toilet. I was like, we are so woke. And they just said, what does woke mean? Because it was 1986 and nobody said it back then. Yeah, I grew up in Scotland with these English hippie parents. Basically what happened was in the 70s my parents sold their house in Notting Hill for about £20,000 because they did not want me to become a millionaire. And they moved to Scotland because for £20,000 in the 70s you could buy Scotland. We started having kids, but they gave us these daft sort of hippie English names. Like, I'm named Leo, you know what I mean? Named after my star sign. All my mates at school had proper Scottish names like Gordon, Shooky, Dookie. Like, some of them just noises like I had to go to school in Scotland being called Leo. Might as well have called me Princess Pissy Pants. It was fucking murder. My brother had it worse, so he's called Sagittarius. He's not really, he's called Toby, but that's still a bit of a wanky name. So yeah, I grew up in Scotland with these hippie parents. Anybody hear of hippies for parents?
Yes.
You did? Oh yeah, quite a few. Nice one, yeah. So what's your name?
Tune.
Tune?
Yeah.
Tune, yeah, definitely fucking hippie parents, you know what I mean? Should we name her after a song? Let's name her after every song! So, Tune, what was it like having hippie parents?
Very crazy.
Very crazy?
Yeah.
Want to be more specific? Or?
Like, cult crazy.
Cult crazy? You're in a cult? Holy shit! Well, like, did they invent their own cult? Or was it a sort of, like...
No, they just joined one.
They joined a cult? Which one?
Like, Children of God.
Children of God? That's not the people who took Waco, is it? Is that, I think I've heard of that, Children of God. It's pretty famous. What was it like growing up in a cult? Well, fuck the show. I just want to find out.
It was very funny.
Very funny?
Yeah.
When the FBI came and fucking... Did you escape? Are you still
No,
in?
I escaped, thank God.
You escaped? How old were you when you escaped?
I was 2, my mum was 18.
Right, oh, so your mum like escaped and like took you with her. Fucking hell, that's crazy. That's an amazing story. Holy shit. Like, mine wasn't as exciting as that. This is definitely going to be a letdown. You know? Like, we just ate lentils. There's no sort of midnight escaping with like machine guns and all that kind of stuff, but Yeah, oh, but I mean, it was on the food growing up. I don't know what the food was like with Children of God. Was it all communal and stuff? Because cults are pretty communal. Yeah, like ours all our food was based around this massive pot of lentils. So I was just constantly farting, just non-stop. Like, you know, and like we weren't allowed deodorant either because deodorant's got chemicals in it. So instead of deodorant, we had this crystal deodorant. I don't know if you've seen this stuff, but it's like a lump of crystal rock that you rub in your armpit. And it's supposed to have the same impact as detonating a can of Lynx, but for the amount of good it does, you might as well rub a rock in your armpit. It's exactly what you've just fucking done. We weren't allowed vaccines either, because vaccines are made by pharmaceutical companies, which are evil for some reason. Like, for some reason there's no problem buying drugs that are made in a garage in Rotterdam by a career criminal, but buying drugs that are made in a medical laboratory by a trained scientist who just wants to help humanity, that's bad. I don't know how the hippie system works. So I spent my childhood just repeatedly suffering from easily preventable medieval pandemics. Like measles, whooping cough, mumps, smallpox, cowpox, polio, bilharzia, the plague, AIDS. AIDS is a good one to get early because you can only get it once. And there's no personal boundaries at home either, like no lock in the bathroom door, not even a bathroom door, just a hemp curtain hanging down, which is awkward when you're eating nothing but lentils because you're shitting about 15 times a day. Sitting there trying to coil one off and your mum's stoned friend comes through the curtain, tries to have a conversation with you about dream catchers. It's not ideal. And my mum couldn't wait for my balls to drop so she could give me the hippie sex chat. Like, did you get taught about the birds and the bees in your cult? You did? Like, how old were you when they taught you? I guess you left when you were 2, so it can't have been before then. I fucking hope. It's not an orc, is it? But
my mum taught me when I was like 6.
when you're 6, how did she? That's still quite young, but like, how did she do it? Did she?
She just went straight in.
She went straight in.
Yeah.
Straight into what? Did she have like books or a DVD she bought of a taxi driver? Like this? Just explain. That sounds pretty healthy. Like, yeah, I was a bit older. I was about 12, 13. Like, my mum sits me down, like mohair top, no bra. That's me. I can't remember what she was wearing. She sits me down and she's like, "Hey, Leo, you're gonna notice some changes in your body, yeah? You're gonna notice some urges. You're gonna want to act on those urges, yeah." It's like, Mum, I'm 13 years old, but I'm like 6'6" and I weigh about 5 stones, like nothing but lentils. I'm just walking about in this miasma of bad lentil farts all day. I've got the worst body odour in the world from rubbing a rock in my armpit every morning, and I'm covered in pustules from whatever Victorian malaise I've got this week. Like, the chances of me actually being able to act on these urges is pretty fucking slim. Yeah, no, it's fun. Fun growing up with hippie parents, like, you know, very sort of politically aware and active. Like, we're always going to marches. I don't know why hippies love marching so much. Their shoes are total shite. Against nuclear power, marching against capitalism, marching against the government, marching against new roads being built. Basically, if there was something improving our lives, we were marching against it. And yeah, somehow, despite growing up like that, somehow now, at the age of, let's say 39, that's what it says on Tinder, somehow now I've become this objectionable figure. I'm getting, like, you know, cancelled for stuff all the time. Like, I got accused of being racist during lockdown. I think it's the 3rd lockdown. I'm not totally sure. There's been way too many lockdowns. They're sort of like Die Hard movies. Although not many people have actually been dying that hard, but like during lockdown, because I went on the Radio 4 Today Show to call for more diversity and inclusion in comedy, because they don't have enough sort of working class voices in BBC comedy. You know, you listen to it, it's just the same Oxbridge educated voices, and even when they try diversity, they just get somebody with a different, you know, gender or different sexuality or different skin colour, but it's still the same, you know, Russell Group opinions that you're hearing. Sort of saying, you know, we need more diversity. This was seized on by left-wing people as proof that I was racist because I was saying that all people of colour must sound the same or something. I don't fucking know how their minds work. But man, that was obviously not what I was saying. And yeah, this somebody in the Live Comedy Association, basically during lockdown, this organisation was set up called the Live Comedy Association to sort of regulate and oversee live comedy. Because if there's something that's going to improve comedy, it's some kind of statutory body regulated. And this lassie, she was the diversity and inclusion officer for the LCA, and I'm always a bit suspicious when I hear about diversity and inclusion officers, because I know there's only certain types of diversity and inclusion they care about. You know, there's still swathes of the population that are looked down on and sneered at by everybody else, and it still goes on. Like there's never going to be a diversity and inclusion officer making sure that there's enough Brexit voters represented on a BBC comedy show. You know. Not that I'm a Brexiteer, you know, I voted Remain in the referendum, not for political reasons. I just voted Remain because my mum's moved to Spain and I want her to stay there. I thought Brexit was nuts. It was like the UK just got drunk and accidentally unfriended Europe on Facebook. Everybody woke up in the morning like, fuck, we did that last night. It's like, it didn't bring out the best in the British people. They interviewed Leave voters for this documentary. They interviewed one guy. He was like, I voted Leave, but I didn't really want to leave Europe. So there's two options on that form. How did you fuck that up? Interviewed another guy who was just like, I voted Leave to get the Muslims out. Well, he's in for a shock when he finds out that Muslims don't come from Luxembourg. I should have just had a third option that said, I don't understand the question. I'm very angry for some reason. No. Save us some hassle. Save us 2 years, 3 years of the most boring news I've ever seen in my fucking life. Oh my god. Remember before Brexit, news was exciting. It'd be like, you know, plane crashes and tsunamis. And Brexit happened, all that stuff went out the window and it was just replaced by boring politics nerds in suits going parliamentary consensus and Brussels negotiations. Oh, nobody cares. Just get it done, you know what I mean? Whatever you nerds have to do to get it, to make yourselves happy, just get it. I just want to turn on the news just once and see, like, you know, somebody staggering on fire out of a 747. Just that big wave chasing down some Japanese people. Too soon. Too soon is actually the name of one of the guys running away from that wave. Probably not the best thing to say when I'm trying to make a claim that I'm not racist. But yeah, no, it caused me all sorts of damage. I'm an influential industry person, you know, openly calling me racist on Twitter, you know, because the comedy industry is so woke. You know, and one of the things with woke is you can't be racist at all, and you can't be associated with anybody who's racist. So it's almost like calling someone a witch. You know, people, certain clubs and bookers just backed off, you know, unfollowed me on Twitter, stopped booking me, because, you know, they don't want the taint in the air around them. So it's bad. And I complained to the Live Comedy Association. I said, look, this is one of your representatives has done this to me. And instead of making her retract the statement, they issued me with a certificate saying that I'm not racist. I'm not even fucking joking. That's a certificate. They said I can show this to bookers and promoters and they'll be reassured that I am not racist. I've got to be honest, I think something like that would probably raise more questions than it answers. It's about as much use as a babysitter having a certificate saying they're definitely not a paedophile. I think woke people are the most racist anyway. Like, I noticed, you know, during Black Lives Matter, all my woke friends on Instagram are posting pictures of here's 58 books that I bought on how to not be a racist, guys. I don't know. I think most people can not be a racist by just not being a racist. If you have to buy 58 books to not be a racist, it sounds like you might be a bit of a fucking racist. You know what I mean? Also, you know, woke people, one of the ways they can show how woke they are is by calling out other people's racism. And, you know, one of the ways, you know, they can do that is they find somebody being racist and they call it out. The trouble is there's not as many people being racist as there used to be. You know, it's It's not as popular as it once was. Have we got any racists in here tonight? See, you know, and according to Twitter, this would be the show they'd be at, so... People are seeing racism where it wasn't really intended. Like H&M, the clothing company, they had this disastrous marketing campaign. Basically, they had a poster with a black kid, or kid of colour, whatever you're supposed to say, and he was wearing a t-shirt that said "coolest monkey in the jungle." And yeah, I know, obviously that's terrible, you know, it's got connotations. I can't believe it slipped past everybody's eyes at H&M and the ad agency. But everybody was sharing it on Facebook saying, oh, this is H&M, being deliberately racist to get people talking about H&M. So I don't think they were being deliberately racist. I don't think the H&M marketing department sat down one day. Guys, we've got a new strategy. It's racism. We're going to alienate 98% of shoppers and just go after that lucrative neo-Nazi market. But not any neo-Nazi market. This is a very niche neo-Nazi market that for some reason is buying t-shirts for black children. Man, the neo-Nazis aren't buying t-shirts for black children. The neo-Nazis are all in the bed linen department buying white sheets. I've been told I've got a lot of white privilege as well. I've got to acknowledge it and atone for it. And I've got to be honest, I don't want to. I just want to enjoy it. I just enjoy one fucking thing in my life. Like, Jesus Christ. It's not like I've got a lot of white privilege. Like somebody like Benedict Cumberbatch has got an insane amount. His ancestors got really rich off the slave trade, like really evil stuff. And they kept that money and they invested it, and then they could afford to send Benedict to this £35,000 a year school. And no wonder he became a top actor. His school drama department had a dedicated set designer, dedicated carpenter, dedicated costumier. That's a word so posh it's not even English. At my school, the dinner lady was also the careers advisor. Different levels of white privilege, you know. Like we didn't have a level playing field at my school. Like we didn't have a level playing field. We just sloped away to one corner. Yeah, who else have I pissed off? Oh, I pissed off environmental people. Basically, man, I got thrown out of I got asked to leave a party in Glasgow because I pissed off this environmentalist guy. I didn't know that was an option for leaving a party in Glasgow. I thought you either just left or you left in a headlock. But basically, I was talking to this vegan guy at the party, and when he finished telling me about veganism, he still had some energy left over. He told me off because I was using a plastic drinking straw. He said, "That is bad. That is single-use plastic." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He says, "That's single-use plastic. After you've used that to drink your gin and tonic, it's going to go into the sea and kill a turtle." I said, "Well then it's not single-use plastic." I'm using it right now to drink a gin and tonic, and later on I'm going to fuck up a turtle with it. Comedy in 2022, there's going to be some Guardian reviewer in the audience being like, "Oh my god, that's appalling. Oh my god, I can't believe he actually thinks that fat people should live in the sea. That's a terrible thing to say." Because for some reason when comedians say stuff now, it's taken at absolute literal face value. There's no room for any, understanding that the comedian, might have been using irony or hyperbole or nuance, or even just the concept that maybe the comedian might have been joking. Is that sometimes a possibility? Jesus. Obviously, I don't think fat people should live in the sea. That's ridiculous. I think fat people should be turned into dog food. I don't understand environmental stuff. Well, other stuff, they're all like, "Oh, we need to stop the sea levels rising." But, if sea levels rise, that's more environment for turtles. Less for seagulls, but there's tons of them, so makes sense. Cool. Yeah, my worst ever cancellation was it was at the Perth Fringe in Australia. I took my show right-wing comedian over there because I'm right-wing. I think people have got the wrong idea about what being right-wing is. Like, it gets people's backs up in the arts. They literally can't believe that a comedian could have the same political opinions as more than half of the population. people don't understand. Being right wing, it's not about being a homophobic, misogynist, racist Nazi anymore. I just believe in smaller government, less government involvement in people's lives, less government interference, lower taxes. I don't want to build concentration camps. Frankly, I'm opposed to building concentration camps because that's state spending. A lot of the stuff people assume about right-wing people, like homophobia. I've never understood homophobia. Growing up, one of my best mates, Stephen, was gay, totally gay. Wears a bow tie. Big veiny dicks in his face and up his ass till he feels like he's underwater. Totally gay. Totally gay. But growing up, his parents, these hardcore Scottish Catholics, and man, Scottish Catholics could give the Taliban a run for the money. And they could see, when he was 14, they could see that Stephen was obviously gay, so they sent him to this religious straightening out camp where religious dudes get you to pray the gay away. But I don't think they really thought this system through. If you get 200 gay teenage boys together, overseen by Catholic priests, there's not going to be less anal sex going on in that camp, you know what I mean? So I thought this was pretty stupid, but then I realised it's like when your dad catches you smoking a cigarette and he makes you smoke the whole pack. These kids are going to come back from the camp with arseholes like a car crash. They are never going to look at a dick again. So maybe that's how the system works. Also, there's this Republican senator in America whose daughter came out as a lesbian and he disowned her. I thought this was ridiculous. Surely if you're some sort of sexually intolerant bigot, having a daughter who's a lesbian is the fucking dream. What does he think a woman's going to do to his daughter's vagina that's worse than what a man's going to do to it? Some big, sweaty, stinking, hairy man with a big purple, veiny cock dripping with jizz and diseases, ramming it in and out of her, slapping her in the face, pulling her hair, gobbling her mouth, making her call it daddy. How's that in any way better than a woman just getting a perfectly clean, manicured finger and just gently going... Man, these bigots don't know they're born. I'm joking. I know some lesbians with fists like ham hocks. People at the Fringe, I was taking the show Right-Wing Comedian, they were incensed that, there's a right-wing interloper in their midst. So they tried to get me cancelled. And one of the ways people try and get people cancelled is they go on their Twitter and they dig back through over the years, like sort of offence archaeologists, peeling back layer after layer until they find the outline of a low-lying wall that spells out a vaguely homophobic slur, Then they get that person cancelled. Like they did with Kevin Hart when he was supposed to host the Oscars. They went back to literally 10 years and found something and got him cancelled. So they tried to do the same thing to me. They went on my Twitter and they went all the way back to that afternoon. Literally the most recent thing I posted. In many ways I'm glad they did go back to 2011, or I might be in jail now, but it was a bit of material from my show, because in my show I was talking about male privilege, because everybody bangs on about male privilege, but I think it's tough being a man. I think that's why so many of us are transitioning right now. You've got to understand, it's way harder for somebody like me to transition than it is for a woman. If a woman wants to transition to being a man, in a lot of cases she just stops shaving. She takes hormones, she grows a beard, and people might be like, I think that man's got tits. But if I want to transition to being a woman, it's a totally different story. I've got to take hormones, I've got to undergo extensive surgical procedures to shave down my brow bone and my jawbone, remove my Adam's apple, put tits in, get all my body hair removed, got to get a whole new wardrobe of clothes, could probably keep this shirt. Find high heels in a size 15, got to learn to walk in them, got to grow my hair out, got to disguise my male pattern baldness, got to learn to do makeup or YouTube tutorials, learn to talk in a high-pitched voice, and at the end of all that expense and effort, people are just going to look at me and go, I think that man's got tits. It's totally not fair, And people said that material was transphobic, and it's not intended to be transphobic. I've got maximum respect for transgender people. I think if you go through all that pain, that hassle, that social stigma of transition, you've got far more of a right to your gender than I do to mine. I'm just a default gender guy, you know what I mean? I was just born with a dick and I ran with it. He knows they're doing it. Oh, it's amazing. Like, have you ever sat and watched this? Like, not mine. Do you nudge him because he's done it? He's showed you?
No,
What? I didn't understand a word of that.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So you've seen us doing this. Somebody else, but like, so you've seen this.
Yeah.
You have that. It's great, isn't it? It's beautiful. Honestly, if you haven't seen it, go to the toilet after the show. Have a look at your testicles. If you don't have testicles, don't worry. Just follow this guy. He's going to give a demonstration. It's made like a sort of fleshy lava lamp. But at my age, we've started sagging as well. This sagging got me into trouble on holiday. I was in the south of France with my ex-girlfriend. Like, she wasn't my ex-girlfriend then, that would have been weird, but we were down at the beach and she said to me, there's nobody around, should we sunbathe naked? And I was like, yeah, brilliant, let's do it. So I whipped my shorts off, I'm lying there on the sun lounger, I'm on holiday, I'm warm, I'm relaxed. Unbeknownst to me, my testicles were also on holiday and warm and relaxed, and they softened and melted through the slats in the sun lounger. Like the Terminator melting through the prison bars. Like an octopus going through a maze. And I had no idea until my girlfriend wakes me up going, Leo, get your clothes on, there's people coming. And I was like, what the fuck? I reach over, grab my towel, the fucking sun lounger comes with me. I'm lying there on the sand with this white plastic sun lounger pinned to my arse, just screaming in agony. My girlfriend looks over to see what the commotion is and sees my balls just tight against the back of this thing, just quivering like a scared little hamster. She just reaches over and thumbs them through the other side. Has anybody got any questions? So no, it was great. It was great going out with Alex. You know, like I said, she's really smart, really funny, really beautiful, really strong. I think all the journey she'd been on had given her this inner strength, so she didn't care too much about all the little shit that today's Gen Zs agonise over, like all this stuff that they stress over, like microaggressions. I don't know if you know what a microaggression is. Basically, a microaggression is an aggression that's so tiny you shouldn't really give a fuck about it. If you're worried about microaggressions, go to Glasgow, see a full-size aggression. It's much worse. Man, some of these microaggressions, apparently if you make too much eye contact with a woman, then that can be seen as sexual harassment. But if you make insufficient eye contact with somebody that's a different ethnicity to you, that can be seen as racist. So to make sure you don't commit a microaggression, you've got to stand with your eyes swiveling in different directions. Can't win. Some of the other stuff they complain about, slut shaming. Slut shaming. I got called out for slut shaming. Basically, there was this story going around Facebook, and I shared it. I thought it was funny. There was a girl in Magaluf, and she sucked off 32 guys in a bar in Magaluf in exchange for a bottle of cava. Not even Prosecco, cava. $4.99 from Aldi. Like, I thought this was funny, so I shared it, and then all these social justice warriors piled on me. They're all like, oh my god, why is everybody shaming this young woman? Why is nobody shaming the men? I was like, I don't think legend shaming is going to catch us. Also, none of the men had sucked off 32 guys in the bar, so that's the difference there. Yeah, man, toxic masculinity. I've been told about a lot of toxic masculinity, and that's bad. If you don't know what toxic masculinity is, basically masculine traits like being aggressive and being good at fighting, they're seen as bad these days. They're only seen as bad because for the last 60 years we haven't had bears and Nazis and Vikings to fight. Like, we don't know that they're not coming back. You know there's only a certain amount of oil and internet left, and And then we're going to descend into this Mad Max dystopia. And then the bears and the Nazis, they'll smell weakness, they'll come back, they'll start fucking with us again. You know, what are you going to do if there's no toxic masculine men left? That's the right time to start throwing stuff around. Man, what are you going to do? The Vikings come and like try and invade us again. And like, you know, you run up to all these non-toxic men, the only guys we've got left. And you're like, guys, the Vikings have come back and they're down in the village committing some really large microaggressions. they're misgendering people, but they're also killing them with axes. All those non-toxic men are going to be like, oh yeah, no, we can deal with that. And they'll be frantically trying to assemble an online petition out of twigs. Some toxic masculine men go down there and beat the fuck out of the Vikings, am I right? But I think a lot of this stuff, when people complain, you know, try and get people cancelled, the people who complained about me, I think they did get me cancelled. My venue turned around to me, my Perth Fringe venue turned around to me and they said, look, this is an inclusive space, you have to leave. Totally fit with the dictionary definition of the word inclusive, but you know, they got me to leave. The people who complained, you know, the vast majority of them weren't trans. Like, there's one trans person who complained, and you know, she hadn't made a lot of effort. You know, and I do feel like it's your transition. You've got to put more effort into it than I do. You know, if my brain is having to do the heavy lifting, that is just not fair. Yeah. But like, you know, these people, they weren't actually interested in, you know, the full story. You know, what they did, they actually silenced a transgender voice, because, you know, I wrote the show with her, so they silenced a transgender voice in comedy. So they did the opposite of what woke people, you know, pretend to do, which is elevating minority, marginalised voices or whatever. They just wanted to look good and boost their own profile. And I see this with a lot of woke stuff. Like, it's just people selfishly, narcissistically trying to like get more attention for themselves. Like Harry Kondabulu, this woke comedian. I don't know if have you seen a lot of woke comedy? There's a lot of woke comedy around right now. Basically, woke comedy is sort of like women's football. Like, it's written about a lot. It's written about a lot in The Guardian, but it's shit. Harry Kondabulu, he had a Netflix special coming up, and to boost his profile, he accused The Simpsons of being racist. He said the character Apu in The Simpsons is racist. And yeah, the character Apu in The Simpsons is racist, like every single other character in The Simpsons. Have you seen that Scottish guy? I'm so offended. You know what I mean? And he said he got bullied at school because of Apu. It's like, you didn't get bullied at school because of Apu. You got bullied at school because you're a soft cunt. You did steroids and MMA, nobody would be coming up to you doing the voice. I got bullied at school because of Apu. Because of Apu and in the changing rooms, alright. Joke there. Fucking. I'm not proud. Justice Smollett as well, he recently got sentenced and sent down. Man, he's you don't know the story, he's this black gay actor in America, and he was worried he was going to be dropped from his show, Empire. So he staged a racist, homophobic attack against himself, like a really socially and racially divisive thing to do. He said two Trump supporters stopped him, and they were wearing MAGA hats, and they sprayed him with bleach. And they put a noose around his neck, and it just shows why actors need writers. It's like a fucking Scooby-Doo episode. He also burgled by a guy in a stripy top carrying a bag with swag written on the side. It turned out he'd made the whole thing up. He paid these two Nigerian brothers to do it. Actual brothers, I'm not using 70s for that. These two Nigerian guys to do it. And yes, so much of this stuff is just people boosting their profile. Even some of the really good movements, like the Me Too movement, which is totally essential. You know, I think men have just been treating women like shit for millennia, since there's been, you know, men and women. I bet even before that, I bet the first amoeba to grow a gladioli, rubbing up against other amoebas, making them feel uncomfortable. You know, some of these guys, Harvey Weinstein, what an animal, you know what I mean? You know he's an animal because he's all like, do you want to watch me take a shower? But no, nobody wants to watch you take a shower, Harvey. I've never been scrolling down Pornhub and seen that category. Fat guy takes shower. Let's get a Kleenex out for this one. And he's wanking into a fern. Oh, brilliant. But, you know, and I think we've all been through something horrific. I'm the victim of a serious sexual assault, but luckily I'm a man, so it's a funny story. Basically, when I was 17, I got run over. I don't know if you can see my leg there. I should have worn easier jeans to pull up. You see my leg? See, it's sort of a bit fucked up. Like basically a truck. It's not. I can still do that. You know what I mean? I never do that. Why would you do that unless you're in some sort of chorus line? I guess it's good to know that the chorus line job opportunity is still open to me, should I choose to explore it. But anyway, when I was 17, I got run over by this truck and it went right over my leg, just smashed my leg to bits. I woke up on the ground and I was like, fuck, I thought I better go off the road. So I went to drive myself to the side road and I went to pick up my leg and my foot stayed on the ground and then it came up and it was all clicking and twitching and I could feel all the bone grinding together and I was like, fucking Jesus. Then I had to spend a year in hospital having operations and stuff. I'm being pumped full of morphine every single fucking day. And I already loved drugs before I went into hospital. So when I came out as a total demon, you know what I mean? Just trying to get as much drugs as I could. Then I started university, so I got a student loan, which is unlimited money at the time. So I was just caning it all the time, just getting as much drugs as I could. And I just sort of spiraled down into this sort of drug depression. So I went to the doctor on campus. And I said to him, look, I don't know what's wrong with me, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't get a boner, all the good stuff in life is gone. The only time I feel normal is when I take drugs. And he said, well look, you're a teenager, you've been through this physical trauma, and now you're abusing substances. Sounds like you've got depression, but don't worry, we can give you antidepressants, but before I do that, I just need to check your testicles. And then he got me to lay on this trolley and he fondled my testicles. But I'm not joking, about 15, 20 minutes. And at the time I was thinking, man, I salute this hard-working doctor. Group examination of the NHS. I'm not walking out here with anything wrong with my testicles. Oh my God, this guy should get a promotion, And he gave me antidepressants. They were amazing, man. I wish I could go back on them. I wish I could get depressed again, so I'd go back on them. It's like the whole world was colour and light, I was hugging my dad and stuff. It was unnatural, It was like being in Dawson's Creek. It was just weird, but it's great. And then about a year later, a year and a half later, I was on the phone with my mate Desi. I dropped out of uni by this point. I was on the phone with my mate Desi, who's still in uni, and he was like, "Did you hear about the campus doctor? He got done for sexual assault." I was like, "No way! What was he doing?" Desi's like, "Anything you went in for, dislocated shoulder, sprained ankle, fucking psoriasis, anything at all you went in for, he's fondling your testicles for 15 to 20 minutes." I'm like, "No way! He did me! He did my testicles!" Desi's like, "No way! What were you in for?" I'm like, "Depression." Desi's like, "Do you not think it was a bit weird? You're in for depression, you want to fondle your testicles for 20 minutes. I don't fucking know. I'm not a doctor. It makes sense to me, your ball bone's connected to your head bone. Doctors are always telling you to do weird stuff, bend over and cough and then stick their thumb up your arse. Fucking hell. Dr. Alan Bucket at Stirling University, if you want to research. He went to jail for it. Not for me, I didn't even know I'd been diddled. But the student who blew the whistle, and this is funny, the student who blew the whistle had actually been back 3 different times with 3 different ailments, and each time he'd got the fucking ball fondled. It was only the 3rd time he was like, "Wait a minute, the testicles again." Yeah. I like to think you only have got me twice. Thanks so much.